What's going on, people? Welcome back to the opposition preview. Today, I'm joined by Dave from Talking Wolves to look ahead to the game on Tuesday night against Wolves at Selhurst Park. Dave, how you been? You're honestly, you've had the most appearances in opposition preview. You're holding the most appearances. You're one of the most frequent visitors to the channel. Hopefully, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Hopefully that's a good sign. And it's obviously a good sign that Wolves have been in the Premier League for a good number of years now that I'll keep appearing on the channel. So, yeah, all good. Thank you, mate.
Yeah. Well, we bring you on because every time we bring you on, we manage to beat you guys. So
Yeah.
it's a trend that keeps on going. So we had to bring you on once again. Hopefully we'll get a decent result. I hope he did this as a back me. But look, Wolves, where should we start? I mean, we were talking about a side that should be aiming for top six, a side that was very good defensively. But so far this season, Bruno Lage, he's gone. You got interim manager. You just beat Forest 1-0 on the weekend as well. It's not looking too good for you guys, but what's happening?
It's been a mental start to the season, to be fair. Obviously, the big one was that we'd sort of changed our system. During the pre-season, we'd gone, obviously, last year, Bruno kept with that back five that Nuno had implemented at the club for a number of years. And then pre-season, he wanted to go his own direction, spent a lot of money to suit the system. Gone to a back four, so we were seeing like a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3. The pre-season was pretty good, to be fair. And then start of the season was very, very poor. Our only win before Saturday was against Southampton, which was a home win. Other than that, we were pretty poor in most games. One of the big talking points is obviously letting club captain Connor Cody go as well, which I think sort of football ability reasons made sense because I don't think he was the best defender at the club. But obviously, with everything else behind the scenes, the leadership that we've really lacked on the pitch, I think obviously that started to show. And then, like you said, Bruno Lage was let go a couple of weeks ago. Julian Lopetegui, the ex-Sevilla manager, looked like he was going to come in, but due to his father's ill health, rejected the job. And I don't think the club really knew where to go after that. So the win against Forest on Saturday was big, I think, because it puts a little bit of pressure off the team, a little bit of pressure off the board, can give them a little bit more time to sort it out. And yeah, for the first time in a couple of weeks, we're outside the relegation zone. But like as everyone knows, we don't want to be anywhere near there. We should be much further up the table, I think.
So where do you think, where would you like Wolves to finish this season? Of course, it's been a difficult start. You still haven't brought in a new manager going into this game with your interim manager. Do you think mid-table, top half, top six, where are you aiming for realistically? Because as you said, you was in a relegation zone for a while.
Yeah, I think like I said to you earlier on, I think that overall our squad is probably one of the best squads we've had on paper since we've been back in the Premier League. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of injuries, a lot of suspensions. You know, for the Chelsea game last week, we had Neves suspended. We've had Nathan Collins suspended for a little bit. Obviously, Jimenez and our new striker Kalajdzic have all been injured. So we've had those problems. In an ideal world, I think top half finish again would be great. But if we can, with this start to the season, I mean, 2 wins from 10, if we can sort of finish in and around mid-table, I think it would be an okay season overall. But we really need to press on. I think if we don't have a good end to the season or a good season from now, puts pressure on our top players, staying at the club. Neves, his future's been, uncertain for a long time. He's got less than 2 years left on his deal. I think Wolves will be forced to sell in January or in the summer if the situation doesn't improve. And same with players like Nunes as well. Everyone was surprised when he came to Wolves, almost give him this platform to show the Premier League what he can do. If he has a good season and Wolves don't, he could easily be gone next summer as well. So it's important for the club as a whole to really improve. But a mid-table finish, I think, with the way we've started, would be okay.
Yeah, so talk about your previous game against Forest. It was a 1-0 victory. There was lots of hype before the game because of the social media teams from both sides. I thought that was funny. The fact that Nottingham Forest actually managed to delete their tweet, it was quite embarrassing from their end, but you guys got the final laugh. But look, you got the 1-0 victory. It was by a penalty. But this season, it's been the goals scored. I believe you've already scored 4 goals now after that penalty so far this season. What is it? Because you've got the talent on the pitch, but you're just not scoring the goals. Are you getting unlucky, or are you just simply not playing good enough going forward?
It's a bit of everything, to be fair. Ignoring this season, the 2 seasons before, we averaged less than a goal a game as well. Nuno's last season and Bruno last season as well. and it was quite well known last year that we weren't conceding many goals. We had the best defensive record in the league for a long time, up until the end of the season. And then, but goals scored were an issue as well. I think we were on par. I think we only just scored a few more than Norwich last season. So it was a really poor return. It's a bit of everything. I mean, the chance creation isn't quite there. It's not where it wants to be. There's times where when we are on top, even against Forest, we're almost trying to walk the ball in the back of the net as well. So I don't know what it is. We really do need our next coach has got to be the man that can sort of try and help us create these clear-cut chances, because like you said, we've got the talented players there. You know, when everyone's fit, you've got Jimenez, you've got Neto, Podence, Adama Traore, if you include Neves and Nunes, include Diego Costa in that now as well. We've got quality footballers. So we just got to start putting the ball in the back of the net. And, we're still not seeing that as of yet. Our defensive record so far has been okay, ignoring a couple of heavy defeats against Chelsea and Man City, which are expected. Other than that, we've been all right. But goals win games, and we're not going to win football matches if we're not putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, so in terms of, you mentioned some players there, talents that you got. For me, I think Nunes, he's brilliant. That you signed this summer. But Diego Costa, everyone knows about him in the Chelsea days and Atletico Madrid as well. Who are you most looking forward to seeing on Saturday, on Tuesday against Palace? So I think for me, I'm looking at Nunes in terms of that talent, especially from midfield, bringing the ball forward. But who has performed so far this season for you guys?
Yeah, Neves has been very good overall again. I mean, the attacking players have all been a little bit underwhelming. But Nunes, I said to you earlier on as well, was a player when you watch him and you could just tell he's a really talented footballer, but we're just still waiting to see like a top performance from him. I think he's a little bit like you described Eze to me earlier, where he could pick the ball up and take on not just one man, but he could take the ball past 2 or 3 players. Nunes could do that as well. And so I'll be intrigued to see how he gets on. I think he'll start against Palace as well. But Diego Costa as well, we're starting to see get more and more minutes out of him. He had a little cameo against West Ham a couple of weeks ago where we squeezed 20 minutes out of him. He then played 60 minutes against Chelsea last week. And then we got 80 minutes out of him on Saturday. So I'm not expecting 80 again on Tuesday. I think that'd be crazy. But if we can squeeze a good 60, 65 minutes out of him again against you guys, that'd be interesting. But yes, he isn't as quick as he used to be, but technically, footballing ability wise, it's still there. His leadership and his sort of presence on the pitch is still there as well. And I think he was a big plus for us on Saturday against Forest, although it wasn't our best performance. I think, everyone showed that drive, grit, and determination that we've lacked for the last few weeks, just to almost frustrate Forest and get us over the line.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Costa and Joachim Andersen, because Joachim Andersen actually had a problem, but Nunes from Liverpool, who got sent off against him. So I think that would be an interesting battle, because I know Costa is not gonna. I know it's the same Diego Costa. He might not be scoring goals as the same, but the way he plays, he's just gonna be annoying, and it's gonna be interesting to see it in this game. But in terms of where you see the game being won and lost, how do you see it going for you guys? Where have you been good at so far this season? You talked about not scoring enough goals, but maybe, not too bad defensively. It's the midfield area pretty solid. Because when I'm looking at the midfield, I'm seeing Neves, Nunes. I'm seeing some quality players there that you guys can 100% pass around us.
That's where, for me, every game this season is where we will win or lose games through the midfield. Like you said, Nunes, Neves, Matinho is just, despite him being that little bit older, just again a little bit like Costa, just can read the game unbelievably well. And I thought he played really well against Forest. And I think, that for me, if the midfield aren't on it, we won't win the game. Simple as. But if they are, Neves, if everyone is on the top of their game, we'll look good against you guys. We really missed Neves last week against Chelsea. You could tell that. Just the gaps between, where sometimes your midfield is almost stuck to your defence, and then your attackers on the other side of the pitch, and there's just that big gap. Is there, like, there's nothing connecting the two. But if Nunes could pick up the ball and drive it forward, we've got a great chance. And even Matinho, he got subbed off against Forest on Saturday, and he was almost doing like a Cristiano Ronaldo Euros final on the touchline with the interim bosses. It was brilliant to watch. But I think those 3 will start again on Tuesday. And they're going to be a big difference to whether we get a win or lose this game.
So, what about the Palace side of things? How are you feeling going into this game? You mentioned that you ideally need a big result, maybe a draw or win against Palace, so you can push up the table. And also, if that's the case and your interim manager stays on, are you confident going into this game?
I won't say confident. I'm sort of what's the right word? I mean, not just the Palace game. No disrespect to you guys, but we've got yourselves, we've got Leicester, and we've got Brentford before the end of the month. And I think all three of those, on our day, we can get positive results from.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued by this game. I'm not going into it like overly optimistic, but I know, if we play well enough, we can get a positive result, whether that be a draw or a win. I think the club will really want to win this game. Like I've said before, I think it will just buy us a little bit more time in terms of getting a head coach in. I think the longer we can go on while still getting positive results, the better. Gives the club more options in terms of who we're trying to get a hold of. Because I would assume whoever we get as a head coach is probably in work at the moment. So between now and the World Cup isn't a great time to try and approach a new manager. So yeah, I think if we can get a win against you guys, that'll buy us a lot of time. And like I said, we had a lot of Wolves fans. It was so toxic before the Forest game on Saturday in regards to where we were in the league. Obviously, we were bottom three. We'd spent this amount of money. And then if we beat you guys tomorrow, we'll shoot up to about sort of 12th or 13th in the league. It's like just a completely different Premier League table then. So yeah, it'll be a very, very tricky game. I think Palace are a good side, but yeah, be intrigued to see how we get on.
It's funny because you mentioned if you win that game, you'll go 12th, 13th. If you win this game, we could go up to maybe 8th or 9th. Yeah. So for both sides, it's one of them games where you're looking to win this, not because it's going to change your season, but going into the next game, you're looking up rather than down. You're looking at, well, now I'm 11th, 12th, let's push on to 8th. Or now I'm 9th or 10th, let's push on to 7th or 6th. Like, it just gives you that hope. So I think it will be interesting, and both teams should be up for it in this game, especially with the talent that you guys have got. So we talked about how you're feeling ahead of the game. So score predictions. How do you see it going?
My head is saying a 1-1 draw. Like I said, I would take a point, I think, in this game, with our sort of circumstances. But my heart is saying a 1-0 Wolves win. A little bit like Saturday, grind out the result. It won't be pretty for us. I'm not expecting Wolves to come out and play this attractive football. We haven't done that all season. But yeah, but my head, sensible Dave, is saying a 1-1 draw. But I know it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, there's going to be talent on the pitch, so it'll be. I'm just thinking about Diego Costa. I don't know you got a talent elsewhere, but I'm just thinking about how he's going to annoy our back line, knowing him. And trust me, we haven't missed him. Especially, it must be great having him on your team, but facing him, that's a different thing.
All the chance for about him on Saturday. It was the first time we saw him at Molineux on Saturday. So yeah, but we
really got a chance.
Yeah, because the first two games he played were both away, and then on Saturday was the first time we got to see him properly in the flesh. So yeah, fingers crossed he can grab his first goal against you guys.
Yeah, that'd be typical Palace. Because I'm actually looking at this game as, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I feel like the last two games we faced you under Vieira, it has been very positive in terms of results, and even in terms of performances. We've had, I would say, an enjoyable time, which you would have liked for me to say. But then again, I'm not expecting the same because now we've lost Conor Gallagher, Bruno Lage is gone as well, and plus you signed new signers, so it's not, it shouldn't be the same. But because we're at home, we've only had one shot on target against Leicester, and I'm expecting our team to bounce back from that. I'm going for a 2-0 Palace win, but it could also go 2-1. I'm expecting a positive result because if we lose against you guys after drawing against Leicester, I'm saying hell erupts. Not because of your bad side, but because of how. But even now, people are talking about Vieira. Is he good enough? Do you have faith in him, etc.? Because we drew against Leicester away from home, which is crazy because we're not Man City or Chelsea. But if we lose against Wolves, against the side that, let's say you score 2 goals and you've only scored 4 goals before this game all season long, then Palace fans will just, like, rightly so, they'll just be mad. They'll be mad. Yeah. So I'm expecting a positive result, 2-0. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below as well. Your thoughts ahead of the game and also your score predictions. And Dave, where can they find you?
Yeah, so it's at Talking Wolves on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Obviously, we do the match reactions after the game. So I'll be outside Selhurst Park. So if you guys win and you want to see me almost close to tears maybe, then jump over to our channel and see how we get on.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be at Sellers Park as well, so I might be there to see your tears live. After that's if we of course win. If we don't win, trust me, you'll not see me anywhere near you. But look, thank you today for coming on, and make sure to check out the Talking Wolves channel. It'll be in the description down below, all the links for it. And thank you for you guys watching as well. And until next time, up the Palace.